At the University of California at Los Angeles, a new Chancellor, Charles E. Young, was installed today. And though there were advance warnings of demonstrations and possible violence, nothing happened. And that, in these times, is news. ABC's John Davenport reports.
For a seasoned agitator, the setting was ripe for trouble, but nothing happened. The few radicals at UCLA tried to use Young's inauguration as a springboard for a demonstration, but they couldn't get one off the ground. During the last 2 days, they tried to force a general strike on the 30,000-student campus, but to no avail. When strikers took over the main administration building, instead of calling police, officials bid them welcome. The sit-in fizzled. Why the relative stability at UCLA? A few reasons stand out. It's a middle-class commuter college, unlike the live-in Berkeley campus. But unlike other streetcar colleges, such as NYU, Columbia, or San Francisco State, UCLA is not a bastion of the radical. It attracts moderates like Notre Dame attracts football players. And across town, the city's other major school, Southern Cal, has also been quiet. So, the city which spawned the warfare of Watts, ironically, is keeping it cool on the campus. John Davenport, ABC News, on the campus of UCLA.
Charles Hitch, the president of the University of California at Los Angeles, says it seems to him that every fall they start the school year with some kind of crisis. This year it is Angela Davis, the black militant teacher, who says she is a communist.
Yesterday was the first day of the fall term at UCLA, and philosophy professor Angela Davis was on her way to teach her first class. Amid controversy, for Miss Davis admitted that she is a member of the Communist Party, and the regents who run the university decided because of that she should not be allowed to teach. They're not supposed to hold a teacher's politics against her, but this, they claimed, was different. Governor Reagan led the opposition to her. His lieutenant governor explained it.
I don't think this is a question of political opinion. I can under no circumstances equate the Communist Party to the Republican or the Democrat Party. And so I don't think that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about a woman who, by her own letter and over her own signature, has indicated that she feels that militancy and violence is the only way to solve the problems of today. I don't agree with that, and I don't think we want that on our campus.
On campus at UCLA, though, faculty and student body overwhelmingly support Miss Davis. Faculty members will meet Thursday to decide how to support her. A strike seems unlikely by the faculty, but they may decide to withhold grades in their classes until her class is accredited. If the regents fire her, she'll take them to court. For UCLA, it has become the crisis of the year. At 3 o'clock, in an auditorium where cameras were not permitted, there was an overflow crowd for Philosophy 99, for the teacher who was not supposed to be teaching.
Before I proceeded to lecture today, I asked the students whether or not they wanted me to teach. They indicated that they did, and therefore I lectured. And they indicated that they want me to continue to lecture.
Will you continue to teach?
Will I continue to teach?
Yes.
Yes.
I thought the lecture was amazing. It was an extremely fine lecture.
I think basically I was very impressed with her. I think she's a fine speaker.
Extremely interesting and provocative.
J. Edgar Hoover considers the Communist Party of the United States a grave internal threat. Many on campus consider it a bore, an irrelevancy, and are not greatly alarmed that Miss Davis, though a member of the Communist Party of the United States, should be allowed to teach a class. They feel that the regents, fearing a communist in a classroom, are overestimating the Communist Party and underestimating students. Jack Perkins, NBC News, UCLA.
Angela Davis, a communist, she says, is an assistant professor of philosophy at the University of California. Today, her contract came up for renewal. The university regents said no.
Angela Davis, the admitted communist, has been teaching philosophy at UCLA this past year. She is controversial, but her students said she'd been a good teacher, and the university rehired her for next year. But today, in a rare action, the Board of Regents voted 15-6 to overrule the university and fire her. Governor Reagan voted with the majority. He said it wasn't because she's a communist, but rather because she is unprofessional.
Academic freedom does not include attacks on other faculty members or on the administration of the university or speaking to incite trouble on other campuses. Now, I think once again, in this particular case, we're talking simply about an issue of whether to hire or not. And this comes up a great many times, and there are many people who are who decided not to hire, and it does not become a great case in which publicly there has to be a debate as to why we chose someone else instead of this other individual.
While the regents were voting, Miss Davis was a few blocks away in a rally protesting the treatment of black prisoners in Soledad State Prison. She sees her dismissal as a case of political repression, which she may or may not challenge.
I'm going to keep on struggling to free the Soledad brothers and all political prisoners, because I think that what has happened to me is only a very tiny, minute example of what is happening to them. I suppose I just lost that job at UCLA as a result of my political opinions and activities.
Her supporters say there is no doubt Miss Davis was fired because she's a communist. Some UCLA professors plan to raise money to pay her salary so she can continue to teach. The controversy is not over. Don Oliver, NBC News, Los Angeles.